So this is the most common failure of the fan control knob, and in the worst case scenario you're unable to turn the fan on at all. To be able to remove the CCM, you have to move your shifter to drive. To do that, you have to switch on your ignition, and you can do it as long as you're not gonna remove any of the plugs on back of the CCM while the ignition is still on. So once you get the CCM out of the way, you put your shifter back on the park and turn your ignition off, and then it's safe to remove all the plugs. To remove this PCB, you will just have to pull it straight up gently. So while it's all nice and open, it's good time to clean the cabin temperature sensor. So you just have to be careful. The sensor is just hanging there with 2 wires. So if you gently just clean it, your AC system will work a lot better. This is what I use here. You're gonna have to use some kind of flux, otherwise you're not gonna make a really good connection and it's all just gonna be a mess. So you just apply flux and then you heat it up a little bit, and then you might have to do it for a couple times before you can see it's a nice and clean solder. So one side of the switch has 2 pins which you have to resolder, and the other side has 3. While you're at it, there's a couple of SMD resistors. You can solder them as well. I forgot to do it, but yeah, I usually just resolder them as well. Once it's all done, you'll just put it back exactly the way it was in there. You might have to watch that the fan control knob and the temperature control ones fit in their position. So you might have to turn them or rotate them slightly when you're putting it back together. So everything has to go together pretty easy. You don't have to apply any pressure. Same thing when putting it all back together. All the plugs have to be connected before you turn your ignition on and move the shifter. If you don't do it, or if the CCM is not connected and you turn your ignition on, you will have a SRS fault code, and then you're gonna need a diagnostic tool to get rid of that. So everything is working now. It was relatively quick and easy job. You don't need many tools, and it probably took me maybe 35 minutes to do it.